one of the questions that I am asked by people whom I have been teaching, and that is a rational question. The question is, Sir, tell me one thing. I know the word, I'm fluent now, but still, when I speak, that suitable word does not click in my mind. I'm not able to use that word even that I know, but later on, after conversation, I'm very good in that and I can think about that. So why that does not click in my mind and how can I overcome that problem? That's a rational problem. I understand, or you might be noticing this, you might be experiencing if you are learning, or even if you have learned, so you must have gone through this all situation, this all predicament where you had a lot of vocabulary, the list of vocab you know already, but when you are speaking, that is not clicking or you are not able to retrieve that, but it comes by practice. Yes, it is. Even it happens with me because I'm speaking now. I have a range of vocabulary every day. I have been learning because I'm a teacher. So all day long I have class and I'm teaching people. I'm trying to retrieve a lot of new vocabulary. New vocabulary does not mean that something is jargon or I'm using something that you are not understanding or people are unable to understand. What does it mean? The vocabulary that is regular, common, little standard because people they are learning with me. They all are working professionals, so that I don't want them to learn only basic one because they are sitting in the meeting or communicating during the interview or client. A lot of things comes during the day that is lingering the task they had. So they need to discuss in that conversation. They mostly want some great word, great vocabulary that is standard, or they may speak or that create an environment where that be the respectful or that would be something a standard that they want to be during the conversation. So that will come in your journey also. And the only solution is, what do I do? I will share here. So let's suppose I have a list of vocabulary. So that vocab earlier I had written somewhere in the some copy, somewhere in the some copy. So when I listen somebody or when I come across some word that is great, suitable either by TV news or by article, wherever I come across, what do I do then? I immediately note it down, or whatever copy we have at the time. I was doing this since long time, but now what happened? I collected all that vocabulary and I put that at the one notebook. I bought a notebook and I started writing wherever these all old copies or pages were lying. I collected all and now I made a copy. In that, I align, I combine all the vocabulary every day in the morning after doing exercise or yoga. I try my best to stick with the plan, and the plan is I just turn on the pages or read once all the vocab. Remember, it does not mean that you are turning a page or reading all vocabulary means it is in your mind. You may forget. I'm not talking about one vocab, it may be more than 100. But again, what is happening here? One way that, so once you read, let it be, but don't read in isolation. You must have written some sentences, some examples so that it clicks, or you may correlate with some situation when you are studying, when you are trying to retain that in your mind. Yeah, that is one way. Second way, that what I want or what works is I keep listening podcasts. So whenever I get a time, so you can see, you notice here, don't correlate your profession with me because you must be working somewhere, so it's not possible all day long to listen it, or you might be getting lesser time, but again, whatever time you are getting, you can do that. So I try, or it is my better attempt to listen or keep listening whenever I get time, some podcast or some news, or whenever in the morning generally I try to cover some article that in New York time, and there, so suppose I watched or I just read all the vocabulary in the morning, and then thereafter I'm reading some article, I'm listening podcast, so listening news online. In that means there are many vocabulary that I have already read, gone through, or that is in my mind. Again I listen, or when I listen that, whenever I hear that, it again is reiterating in our mind, or it is helping to refresh that what I know, and again I heard that, again I listen that. The word, sometime what happened, we have heard, or we have noted it down, or now we have learned it in our mind. But sometime what happen, we have that word in our mind with a small example, one example. But when it comes to the same word, the native people, the great people, they use that in different situation. Yeah, you must have noticed that. So when I go through such situation where somebody use that same word that I know already in the different situation, different way, immediately I recall that. And if it's possible, go to home. After reaching home, I try to note it down somewhere, so that that vocabulary what I used to know in the one situation, now I know about that in different situation. So let's example, suppose I know a word that is trail. Yeah, trail. Trail means what I understood or what I know or whatever I have in my mind, that the people they go in some village area or some forest area. So by going the footstep, you can notice uh, the sign that create that, yeah, this is the way, this is a path, narrow path where people go and come in the narrow area. So I used to understand that that means trail, and I was using that as a noun. But later on I got to know that trail has another meaning also. Suppose somebody killed somebody, or robbed something from somewhere and he ran away, but mistakenly he left something, so that the police will come, the special security force will come with the sniper dog, and that dog will sniff that whatever is left by clue is left by the robber or killer, and they start following the trail. See, what I know about the trail that was different, and what now I'm understanding is different. So trail means that also. Trail means, again I heard somewhere that uh, very recent time I was listening podcast about the America. There was a very horrible hurricane that hit a lot of area. It destroyed, it was like devastating. So the word they use this trail in that way, that the hurricane left a trail of devastating, and then they added some other thing. So see what happened here. Again, trail, the word is same, but the way they use it is different, or they use differently. So this is how, you know, this is how we know a word as per our understanding, or as per our, yeah, capacity, that oh, this means this one thing, but no, it has different way, different meaning, or different measure that can be used. And how would you know that? By listening, by reading, by understanding. So generally your idea expands when you are centric, or you are like obsessed to learn English. Everywhere you are going, you are surrounded, reading newspaper, going through articles. So gradually we'll get to know that all the idea that what I'm showing here are now restoring, or storing in your mind. So that is what I prefer to learn, and this is what I advise people they are learning with me, that this is the way, that a day will come you will understand, or it would be simple to understand. So while conversation, let's suppose I'm teaching somebody and we have a class. During the class he's narrating something about his situation. So immediately whenever I feel that here he could have used that word, even he know that, so it would have been better than what he said. Immediately I notice that, I remind them, and they notice, yeah, I could have used that. That is why this situation, if we want to eliminate that, we have vocabulary power, we know the word, many times we have written that, but still it is not coming in my mind. So what next can I do that? For that only we have to go through the process that we need to follow, and that process is nothing but the practice, or rigorous, relentless, incessant practice, that basically the language demand. You know guys, many times you must have seen in many cities they have a board. In that board they have mentioned rightly that learn English in 3 months or 2 months or 6 months you will become fluent. Whatever they have written over there, they have exaggerated, they boasted the matter. But in reality, you know that how long does it take actually to speak a great English, or how much effort we need to put on it. It's not that easy. It is tough, it takes time, but again, it is not easy. That is why it is worthwhile. It's a reward, it's great rewarding. Everywhere, if you have knowledge, if you go talk with people, you get respect. I don't know why this phenomena is in people's mind, that if we are able to respond in English or narrate something in English, or situation comes, predicament comes, adversity comes, whatever is coming in your mind lingering, you are able to narrate. You are sitting with somebody, or he asked something to you and you responded well, you narrated well with suitable verbs, suitable word, situation, structure. They appreciate you. Yeah, people know you, that wow, the man, the guy, whatever I had in my mind, I asked him, or he was able to narrate, he was able to say what I was not expecting. So it will make you respect, it will earn respect for you. But remember, it's time taking process. Never ever go in the short term, or somebody told you and you believe it. No. And the next challenge comes, even if you are fluent, like what used to happen with me. When I know English, not that much, but I thought, oh, I know. Now I know that when I sit somewhere, when I talk with myself, practice, it was fluent. But I was thinking that how can I use that, because ultimately the target is to talk with people. So when I suppose I'm going somewhere reception, before reaching the receptionist, I used to map that I have to say that, hey, my name is this, I came here, I want to know that, how can I go there, whatever I want to ask to her. Before that, I used to map in my mind, and even I map, or I imagine that what response would be, and then next how I have to counter, how I have to respond her, reply her. Everything was mapped in my mind. But what happened, what used to happen, when I go to reception, she's sitting over there, she smile, that is their nature of job. I, instead of going in English, I went in our mother tongue, mother language. And then thereafter everything went, because I didn't gather confidence. I was not able to muster confidence level, and that is why even I planned, I imagined, I mapped, but what happened later on, I went in Hindi, I went in my mother tongue. Why? Because my heart did not allow to go in English, and that doesn't happen, and it didn't happen with me. It happened with everybody who has learned, or who are in the practice, because it is one of the horrible situation when we learn, and now the time comes to communicate, to time comes to talk with somebody. It is one of the horrible situation when we think to talk with somebody, but it does not click in my mind, we don't dare. I don't know why, what causes it. It is not with you, not with me, it is around the people. They have learned, even the great leader, first time when they learned, it was not possible for them, not easy to open the mouth in English or talk something, narrate, even though they were aware, even we know, but we are not able. So again, it takes a lot of courage. We need to bolster, we need to have faith, we need to think again and again, we need to practice a lot. So these all relentless practice basically open the door, where now we are able to narrate, or we are able to speak in front of people, in front of receptionist, wherever you go. If you have open mouth once, again you will start fumbling, because again fear is there, fear of failure, that if, what if I made a mistake, it seems that somebody will kill me if I am going to make mistake. It is not there, it doesn't happen. But again, we feel reputation, we feel that we are great guy. If I make mistake, so my reputation will sabotage, what will happen, what will she think, what will he think. Lot of things start lingering in my mind or our mind, and that basically, that is the cause that we are falling behind, or not able to open our mouth. Instead, we go in Hindi or in our mother tongue, wherever you are living in, what part of the world. So that causes a great challenge. So this is how my suggestion is, and this is what I teach people, or I try to feel or instill the confidence level in the people, because they talk with me, they learn a lot of things with me, and gradually they build confidence that works for them. So notion, the misconception they all have, gradually it helps them to come out of the problem, or to get rid of this. Yeah, so this is how, whatever situation I have faced, people are facing, you must be facing, but this is the solution that I'm going through, you will come across. And later on, you will realize that it was just a mindset, it was just misconception that we had, and now we are eliminating gradually. So, thank you and bye bye.